AITA for not asking my wife to go somewhere else while my mom spends the night here. My wife and parents have had a rocky relationship for almost 2 decades. A lot of it stems from my wife not wanting to spend much time with my parents after feeling she was mistreated by them early on. My parents don't feel they mistreated her. Early on, I tried to get them to spend more and more time together, in hopes they'd get to know each other better and things would improve. But things just got worse/more awkward. Over time, if my parents were in town, my wife would limit her interactions with them, be it with work or other activities. And when we visited them for the holidays, we'd stay at a hotel even though they would have preferred we stay in their home. A few years ago, my brother suggested I stop bringing my wife to visit my parents at all. He said if they don't get along, why force it? I asked my parents what they thought, and while they were disappointed, they agreed what matters most is having family time. They stopped visiting us at our home as well. Nowadays, when my parents are in our area, they stay with my aunt. My wife basically doesn't see them anymore, except at weddings. That said, she continues to encourage me to spend time with them when they're in town, or to visit them as much as I like, which I do several times a year. While I don't enjoy feeling as though I have 2 separate families, to me it's better than forcing people who don't like each other to spend time together. Which brings me to now. I am a singer and I have a series of shows coming up in a month. My mom wants to come to town to support me. She asked if she can stay with me, which she hasn't done in many years. My wife doesn't like houseguests generally, and hates being a houseguest too, and I feel that having my wife and mom under the same roof at all, let alone during the weekend of my shows, would be extremely stressful for me, and my wife. So I told my mom that while I appreciate her support, I'd much rather she stay with my aunt, or I will help her find a good hotel or Airbnb. Cost is not an issue, my mom can easily afford this. My mom was extremely upset, and said that if I am concerned about it being uncomfortable having her and my wife in the same home, that I should ask my wife to go somewhere else, whether it be staying at a friend's house or going out of town. I thought this was a terrible idea, and I told her so. Edit: most people seem to have understood the resolution here, but a few didn't, so let me restate. When my mom suggested I ask my wife to stay somewhere else, I firmly said no. I didn't entertain the idea for a millisecond. I then posted here because she said, I think plenty of people would see my idea as reasonable, and I intend to show her the responses. Thank you all so much.